Hey guys, welcome on back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome, and I'm in my bedroom, I'm at my desk. There's the Triton right there. If you remember, a few months back, I tried to get this thing working, and it didn't work out. Well, over the past few months, I've been slowly picking away at it, and it's alive. So, yeah, why don't we talk about that today on MuckQuest. Well, thanks for coming on back, and yeah, we're going to be picking up on where I left off on this thing a few months back. Yeah, the work that I've done on it has been not excruciating, but it's been annoying and all kinds of back and forth from between here and over to Solaria and Odin. So, you know, back and forth from this room to that room and all kinds of stuff. I've taken this thing apart so many times, and it's still apart. It's an all-in-one. So, yeah. Here's the back. Here's the back of it. I was taking it off so many times. I just got sick and tired of it, and I just removed it until the end of it all. I even went so far as to remove the drive sled case cradle thingy and stuff like that, because I kept having to pull the drive off. This drive right here, this is the original drive for the unit. It's a, you know, it's a platter drive, spinning rust, you know, it's a hard drive. You know, it's got a hard disk inside of it. And this has the original installation in there. And this was in use, and of course, it's garbage. I mean, it works just fine, but it's really slow. So I wanted to upgrade it to a solid state drive or an SSD. So that's what I did. Well, the first one I used didn't work out all that well. I think I figured out exactly what the issue was, but at the same time, I had to switch it over to another one, which is one that I had in there when I had this thing running as a dedicated Linux machine, Linux Mint. But of course, this isn't being used for Linux anymore. It's not being used for anything anymore, outside of just being to muck around with, just to play with, see what I can do with it, and stuff like that. You know, maybe a guest could use it or something. I don't know. I might gift it. I don't. I have no plans for it. It's just sitting here. So what I did was, you know, I did a number of things to it, and I'm going to describe what those are in a moment. But I wanted to kind of give you a little. Let's see. That's on. That's on. And let's fire it up. So I'm going to show you this in real time. I'm going to boot this guy up, and as we can see, it's a Dell, and you know, it's going pretty good and everything. So just don't. Look at the Windows logo. That was quick. This might actually. Ooh. Oh wow. I got the Windows 11 welcome beep. That was quick. Holy monkey, there it is. Alright. Let's try logging in. Whew. I've already got the name up there. It's called Triton. Wow, there it is. All nice and fast. Whew. All right. Well, let's talk about this a little bit. All right. Let's have a seat out here for this. So I got some notes. I had to write it all down, otherwise, who knows? Actually, I should probably zoom this in a little bit. All right, that's a little better. All right, so I've got my tablet here. Had to write it all down. But the machine itself, let's just talk about the machine a little bit. It's a Dell Inspiron 3275. Yeah, I know somebody that calls it Inspirion, but it's Inspiron. It's an all-in-one PC. So what you saw, that's the whole thing. It's a screen with a motherboard behind it. Essentially, an all-in-one is nothing really more than the innards of, let's say, like a laptop stuffed behind a screen and then a case put around it. Stuff like that. It has an AMD A6 processor. So it's a very basic processor. It gets the job done. It's not super mega awesome or anything like that. Uses Radeon graphics built into the processor. This machine has 16 gigs of RAM. So it came with 8, but I maxed it out at 16. So that's the maximum on this particular machine. It's got Ethernet. It's got Wi-Fi. It's got an HDMI video out port. However, I don't have a capture card for use with it. Plus, it's in another room. So unless there's a Wi-Fi version of one out there, I'm not going to worry about it. It's got one USB 3 port, and it's got two, count them, 1, 2 USB 2 ports. Very common. It's got a wireless keyboard and mouse. Now, the funny thing about that is that the dongle, you would plug it in the back, but the effective range would be very minimal, maybe like a foot, if that, and that's because of the screen. The electricity passing through it would interfere with the signal. So I installed a USB 3.0 hub off to the side. So when I was going through and I said, make sure that's on, yeah, I was turning on that hub. Well, the hub was already on. I was turning on that port for the Wi-Fi, for the keyboard and the mouse. And also the Wi-Fi is built into the motherboard, so I don't have to worry about that. And it's also touchscreen. So, it's like, I don't really see like an inherent need for there to be touchscreen. It's nice, very Star Trek-y Next Gen-esque and stuff like that. But let's see. Now, this machine is not Windows 11 capable, and that's per Microsoft because of all of their hardware requirements that they designed Windows 11. Their design / mandate, as it were. So what did I do? I obtained a Windows 11 ISO directly from Microsoft themselves, using their media tool from their website, stuff like that. An ISO, what is ISO? Well, it's an archive. ISO specifically stands for the International Organization for Standardization, so iOS, but it's called but the file is .iso. Figured that out. Anyways, I extracted that onto a USB drive, like a little USB stick, but I got my own little thing where I use an adapter and a micro SD card. It becomes a USB drive. I placed an installation script file onto that same USB. So I extracted that ISO archive onto the USB, and then I have an installation script that I pop onto that same thing right with all of the extracted files. I'll just go ahead and just throw it in there. So I then installed a Crucial MX SSD, or solid state drive. So the difference between a hard drive and a solid state drive is a hard drive uses magnetic disks inside and it spins. A solid state drive is nothing more than chips on a board. That's it. So I plugged in the USB, I installed that drive, turned on the computer, spammed F12. So basically spamming a button like F12 would be, going like this until it did something. The boot menu came up as it was supposed to. I selected the USB to boot off of that because that's where the ISO file was extracted to. And then the installation began. It booted from that drive and it started to install it. So during the installation, I connected the Wi-Fi and everything like that. Now the installation script, here are the details on that a little bit. It installed Windows 11 Pro, and I preset the time and the time zone. Let's see, I predefined the Wi-Fi network connection, so I didn't have to plug that in. And I also said no Microsoft account required, so I set it for that. So it's local account only, and I also put in the local account credentials, the name and the password. No TPM or Trusted Platform module was required. There's no spot for it. It's built into the processor, but I'm like, nah, don't bother with that. So it's an MBR disk or Master Boot Record disk, which is an older style. Today it's EFI. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to deal with that for this. I'm just playing around with it. So, no Copilot. No. No recall. Definitely not. It's also very deep-loaded, and I'll try to show you what that's all about, how deep-loaded it is. It is sickening deep-loaded. It's essentially just the core OS, for the most part. And also I've got, on the motherboard, I've got it set up for legacy boot, no EFI, although it is capable. And beyond that, beyond the installation script and stuff like that, after it got all installed, fired it up, got in, and I went and I activated it. It's just a tweak in the registry. That's it, stuff like that. But I use a particular PowerShell script for it, so did that. So then you saw that the wallpaper was that loofah poof shower thing. I had excuse me, I had tweaked it on Solaria to be green, and also put the name of the machine up in the upper right corner. And I tweaked the color scheme. The channel colors are green. So why don't we take a moment and we'll shoot back in there, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to do my best on trying to get the shot right, get the camera position in a good spot, and so that you can actually see it all right, and kind of show you around a little bit. Okay, so here we are. We're in it. Let me get my keyboard and my mouse here. Alright, so we can see me moving my mouse around. So there we are. I hope you see it alright, but here it is. So it's green. Here's where it says Triton. And I set it up to have the recycle bin. It automatically shows up in the upper left corner, but I pushed it down to the lower right. And yeah, so here's the color change that I did. It's green, matched the channel color, and there we go. Alright, so if we come down here to the start menu, I set it to automatically be set up to be in the lower left corner, so it's not in the middle like a Hackintosh. So we click on that, and there is the menu, and we can see it is very empty for the most part, except for the stuff down in recommended. Yeah, I got the welcome to Windows, and I installed Privazer, Malwarebytes, and LibreWolf. So I installed that stuff, but there's nothing up here in pinned. There is nothing pinned. So if I click on all, we can see everything. A, accessibility. C, calculator, camera, clock. Now, there is a built-in camera in this, and it's on the top of the unit, so I left that in there. Now, of course, I want the clock. F, File Explorer. G, Get Started, whatever. L, LibreWolf. M, We're all the way up there. There's no garbage. You know, I've got regular paint, I got photos, I got Privisor, Quick Assist, settings, snipping tool. I may or may not need that. I haven't decided. Terminal. There we go. Windows backup, Windows security, Windows tools, whatever. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. You know, there is literally nothing in here. File Explorer, though, we'll take a look at that. And there it is. You know, so being an AMD A6, it's not the absolute fastest processor out there, but it works. You know, things aren't, you know, snap crazy. You know, boom, 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 you know, come on people, move, move, move. No, it's not like that. You know, it gets it done. It just may take a moment, you know, a sliver of a moment, a couple of moments, but a moment nonetheless. I'll do that again, close that, I'll open it in here. See? And that came up fairly quick. Because it's not bogged down by all kinds of bloatware. You know? And you know, it's got the Windows 11 stuff, it's got the Windows 11 context menu and stuff like that. Microsoft got better at doing this. So, you know, when you've got something, so let's say, what happens when I right click on that? You know, the context menu is a lot better. We've got icons up here for quick things, and they put in, you know, the title of what those things are. You know, we got a lot of the same stuff, you know, and we can do show more options to get a list of everything that we would normally see in Windows 10. So, I really don't have many complaints about the Windows 11 one. It seems to be alright, especially with the improvements they put out there lately. So, have I done anything with this? No, I really haven't. But anyways, there's that, and yeah. So we got that, we go here. I can come right down here to S to settings, and here we go. Here are the settings. Boom, 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 boom. And, you know, everything is Windows. Personalize, recommended settings, so on and so forth. Sign into your doodads. It's all here with the Microsoft account. No, 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 no. Bluetooth, good. This is Bluetooth capable. So, but do I have any need for it right now? No, not really. So, there's a brief little look at how well this works. So, I am going to go ahead and I am going to shut this down. Okay, I'm going to have to try to make this quick because Strawberry is chatting with me on Matrix. So, well, we just started up. She hasn't said anything in the past 30 seconds. So, I think I've got a minute or two. But anyways, it's the morning. She just got up. And I've been up since 5:15 this morning. Anyways. But, in either sense. So, that is everything regarding Triton. It was more or less DOA, and it was a dead machine. Wasn't being used for anything. Had given it to a relative, got it back from that relative. Had to buy a new power supply. Perfectly fine. Those were nice and cheap, less than like $15 by a little bit, and got it all. At this, you know, overall, I've got it all back up and running. So that's pretty much it. But, you know, it did take me, a long time. I got it back in November, a year ago. So basically a year and 5 months ago. And so then this past December of 24, as you can see from that video, tried to get it running, wouldn't run. So since then, I'm slowly picking away at it, and finally got it up and running. So it's good to go. What am I going to do with the Triton at this point? I have no idea. It might just be a spare machine. I may just continue to muck around with it. I have no idea. But it's got full Windows Pro in there, and it's fully activated and everything like that. And I didn't actually purchase a license for it because I've got licenses already. I have a number of licenses, and they're all in cold storage on Solaria. So, well, not Solaria itself, it's on a drive inside of Solaria, but it's in cold storage. So I can basically say, well, this goes with that one, that one goes with that one, whatever. It's my choice, my selection. I have the license, end of story. So that's pretty much it. I've got a dedicated Windows machine over there. It's Odin, and that's what I use. So yeah, I really don't have any plans for Triton other than to muck around with it. I'll go in there, play around, keep it updated, things of that sort, and there we go. So thank you for coming along for this adventure and everything like that. Not quite a Bilbo Baggins kind of adventure, but an adventure nonetheless. So there we go. So if you happen to like this, make sure you give it a like, throw me a comment, subscribe, please subscribe, and we will catch you in a future video. So thank you very much. Skål, drink to victory.